So welcome back to I Searched and Found. I have another unboxing to show you. Some new things I just bought at the Goodwill. This first thing is not vintage, and this is just for me personally, but it's this great pillow. I have a black chair that I thought this would look great in. I love the design of the striped figures and sort of the coral figures, and it only costs $2.99. I mean, you can't beat that, can you? No. So that one is going to go to my black chair. Okay, let's see. Next is this little pewter baby shoe, and right in the top of the shoe is a Timex clock. A watch, I mean. That comes out so you can change the battery. But it's just this adorable little thing. I mean, when I researched it, I saw that it's called the Timex Mini Clock, and they had them in all kinds of things, all different. I haven't found any more of the shoes, but they had them in frogs, they had them in baseballs, they had them in all kinds of stuff. I thought that was really cute. The next one that I have is this incredible tray. Now, this was made in the Philippines, and I've only seen one other, and the one other one, the birds are just a little bit less geometric. My first reaction to this is it was Scandinavian. It's not. It was made in the Philippines. Of course, somebody put Velcro all over the back, so they obviously were hanging it on the wall. There are a couple of holes there from screw eyes that they had put in. There's the label that says made in the Philippines. But it's lightweight. It's got this inlaid wood that makes up those three birds. And I just thought it was beautiful. I thought it was very mid-century, very Scandinavian looking. So I got that. I think that was $4.99. These were $7, and these are children's symbols. And I honestly remember being in kindergarten and having something very similar. I don't know if mine were brass that I used in my kindergarten class, but it was just something that was so much fun to be the person who had the symbols to make all that noise. And they do make a lot of noise. Those will go in my Etsy shop. This piece, I was torn about it because it's very kind of 1950s country kitchen, kind of New Englandy kind of look. But I was drawn immediately to those little white knobs. In my grandmother's house, she had white knobs on everything. My mother had white knobs on everything. And I just really liked it. So I thought I would bring it home and see if I could possibly not refinish it, but take some of that shine off of it and see. But basically, it's like a little mail holder. You know, you put it on the wall and you put your bills in there when they come in, and put your stamps in the drawer, and you can put some pencils in there. And it's a great little object. I love the color of the wood. It's just that it's a little, there's something that's a little off on it. I'm hoping I'll be able to fix that with sanding it down a little bit, maybe just cleaning it. That might help. The shoe fits when the shoe fits. Okay, the next thing I have, let's see, is, two sets of rubber stamps. These are not something that I'll sell. These are something I'm just going to keep to use, or I might use them in some of my classes that I teach kids art, so they could use those stamps. Those are nice little shapes, and then these are floral shapes that you could actually stamp and then color in. So those are $1.99 each, so I got those. This is two sets of playing cards, and they're vintage. These are pinochle cards. One of the decks has been opened, the one with the red deck with the hunting dog. And then the brown deck never got opened. It's still wrapped in the cellophane that it came in. I don't know how many cards are supposed to be in a pinochle deck, so I do need to figure that out so that I can make sure it's the full set. But it's always nice. Old cards are always nice. Yeah, it's great. And then the other set comes from Taunton, Massachusetts. And it's like a bank in Taunton, Massachusetts. That I guess was a giveaway that the bank did. I don't know, maybe if you deposited a certain amount of money, you got a couple of decks of cards. And, you know, they're nice, they're glossy, they're very sort of Kodak color. One has red bands and the other has aqua bands. And you can see it's from the Taunton Savings Bank, or Cooperative Bank, sorry, Taunton Cooperative Bank. Well, you know, there's a collector for everything, and I'm sure that there's somebody who would really like those cards. Here comes, talk about cards. These are decks of card holders. It took me a while to figure out what they were. At first, I thought maybe my phone, I know they're antique, but I thought maybe my cell phone could sit in them. I thought that would be nice, but it didn't fit. My phone's too wide. But these are those, it's a very typical, I think from India, carved wood object. You can get boxes, jewelry boxes, all kinds of things like that. But you see how it's got that little line of brass in there? Really beautiful. And they hold decks of cards perfectly. I'm sure that's what they're for. When you have a card party, you put out your decks of cards, like on a bridge table. You would have your 2 decks of cards. Oh, they're pretty. Oh, look at this, a realistic transistor radio. Black and silver. Does not work. I have not gotten a new battery for it yet, but it takes a 9-volt battery, and I'm hoping above hope that it will work. If it doesn't, it's still just a beautiful object. And I have a friend who just opened a cafe that covered a whole wall with radios, and I thought I might ask him if he would want to add that to it, even though it's just a little radio. This is a silver plate cup of some sort. I'm not sure what it would have been used for. It's too big for toothpicks or matches, but it's maybe straws were in it. It says there on the bottom, Metal Blanc, which I read was something that Christoph developed. So it's silver plate over some kind of white metal. I'm not sure what the metal is, whether it was zinc or something. Don't know what the age of this is. It's got a dent, but I can't wait to polish it up and see how good it's going to look. It's beautiful. It's very sort of deco kind of shape. This is just a nice set of cookie cutters that are all different size round. I mean, look at that. Isn't that wonderful? I love them. And you could use them as cookie cutters, or if you were an artist and you wanted to use them to trace circles would be fun, or even if you were an art teacher to give your kids to do that. I think that was $1.99 for those. I think that radio was only $1. Another Flintstones mug. This is the McDonald's Flintstones mug, and this one just says Flintstones. I have others that are a little bit different than this, have a little bit more decorative quality to them. But I thought, well, I'll just add it, $1.99. Just add it to my other 2, and maybe eventually I'll have all 6. And then I could sell it as a set of 6. Oh, this pile's looking good, isn't it? So next, another maple bottle. This is my 3rd. I have a red one, I have a yellow one, and now I have a green one. I don't know what it is that I am obsessed with these bottles. I think that they're not old, they're not vintage, but I just love them. Well, I love maple leaves. $1 for that one. This I thought was really interesting. It's some kind of a drawing that someone did by hand. I don't know what it's from. It makes me think of something that might be Eastern Asian or Tibetan or something like that. I don't know if it's somebody in America did this, and I don't know. It's really great though, isn't it? So black, white, and red. I just love it. That was $2.99. A protractor. I've been trying to think of the word of that. A wooden protractor. Just thought it was wonderful. It has been damaged, but you know, you hang that on the wall. It's great, isn't it? Love that thing. You can see how it's bent there. Curves a little bit. Another French press. Now, I'll tell you about this. I bought this. This was $2.99. My French press, my Bodum French press, I broke the glass. I had to pay $17 for a new piece of new glass. And I thought, why don't you just wait? You'll find one at Goodwill. Well, I bought it for $17, and now a week later, here it is at Goodwill. This is not Bodum. It doesn't have a name on it, but it's a nice one, and I think I'm going to sell this probably for $12.99. It's a nice piece. It holds 8 cups. So now I'm just going to take this piece out of here, out of this frame. Let's see what it actually is. Because honestly, I was so drawn to it. I think I was just drawn to the colors. Oh, look at that. It's on some kind of weird mat that said 2010. All right, get it into the camera. Let's see it. So you can see it is hand painted. Very nicely done. I don't see a signature on there anywhere. Of course, somebody used double-sided tape to attach it to that board. Why they couldn't have just put it down and not had to tape it, I don't know. It wasn't going to move in the frame. And it was longer, and so they cut part of it off and just folded that up. But it will be a longer piece. That goes towards the end. So that's the end of this haul. Check back for the next one. Subscribe to my channel if you're interested. And keep coming back to see what it is that I'm picking up. Thanks. Bye, everybody.